Hi personal developers, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. If this is not your first time here, of course, welcome back. I really appreciate you being here again. Listen, I know it took me some time to upload this video, but I really needed 2 weeks just to settle my ideas, and I am going to talk about what I'm going through right now in the future when I'm ready for it, as I always do. But back to the point, I am sharing with you part 2 of the conversation I had with my good friend Cili. She is a volunteer in Ghana, and in this episode we talk about confinement. Let me take a look at my notes because we talk about so many things. Quarantine and COVID situation in Ghana. We talk about local people. We talk about how being fat is a compliment in Ghana. We talk about better treatment if you are white. We talk about hair. We talk about pros and cons about living in Ghana. I mean, I just hope you loved this conversation as much as I loved recording it. It was so good to talk to my old friend about all these things and being able to share this with you. So, okay, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm just gonna let you enjoy the video. Let me know in the comments if you like it and what other topics do you want me to talk about with another soul sisters or by myself. Just tell me whatever you want, okay? Don't forget to like, subscribe and share if you love the video. Mwah. Namaste.
Yeah, I think the lockdown period wasn't only hard for me. I think it was hard for everyone everywhere in the world. So
Yeah.
for the part that I was outside in this, like I wasn't locked in a house, you know. So
Yes.
that part was good.
Lucky
Yeah.
you. I remember talking to you and I was like, I can leave the house once to walk the dog.
Mhm.
And then my boyfriend was staying in and then he went in the
I know.
evening. And you're like, oh, I go to the beach. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? We couldn't
I
go to the
know.
beach. We
That
couldn't do
wasn't good.
anything. And by the way, how is the coronavirus situation right now in Ghana?
It's okay. It's it was a bit hard in the beginning, but I don't think the death rate was never high, to be honest. So I think it was okay. I didn't experience much other than people wearing nose masks. I don't know anyone who got sick. Maybe in Accra, but here in this area, not really. I know it's around, or it was around, or still around, but I think probably in Europe it's much worse than in America than here.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
so, and especially if you have like not a lot of people around, right? So I believe it's way more easy, like way
And the place,
easier to
yeah,
control. Yeah.
and the place where I'm is quite sustainable. So we have a farm, we produce vegetables, fruits.
Oh, that's so
So
cool.
yeah, so
That's so
we were
cool.
with the mindset that even if something happens and we cannot go anywhere, we'll be okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so good. I
Yeah.
love it.
But you
Um,
know, one thing about the coronavirus, just to add,
mhm.
since I'm here, everyone was always super friendly and super nice to me, and everyone is calling me "Oh, Bruni, white woman," whatever, but in a nice way. People were very open all the time. I think they kind of like foreigners here, so it's a good it's a good vibe towards us. But when coronavirus hit, then I felt some change. I think it got back to normal again, but then people started to be like scared and calling me coronavirus or Chinese woman. So that
People
wasn't
were
nice.
calling you coronavirus.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, I was
God,
walking in the market
people.
and I realized that people were talking about coronavirus, and I was like, wow, everyone is talking about coronavirus. And after I realized that they are calling me coronavirus, I was like,
You were
yes.
the virus. Oh my God. Seriously.
So
And
that
you're like,
part was a bit like,
I've been living here with you, okay? Like,
yeah.
I did
I
not
had to tell
mean.
everyone, I'm here since September. I don't have any virus. Come on.
Oh my God, how crazy. Well, you will find prejudice everywhere. And
Yeah.
the reality is that in Europe, the situation was way worse and it
Hmm.
hit way before it hit Africa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's normal that people are like, is she gonna bring coronavirus? Even in here, like here in Tenerife, we were on lockdown. And when we
Yeah.
were on lockdown, there weren't a lot of cases of coronavirus. And then we
Yeah.
were scared because they were going to open up the borders again. And we were like, oh
Yeah.
God, seriously,
All the
because
foreigners gonna bring
we're
the virus.
scared. This
Yeah,
is just like such a terrible thing to say, but I mean, fear is a real thing, and it's better to speak up than.
yeah.
But yeah, things are kind of, I don't know, in Spain right now, since we're talking about the coronavirus, I think it's like my duty not to explain what's happening here in Spain. So I live in Tenerife in the
Mhm.
Canary Islands, so the situation is not the same as in mainland Spain, but we are, right now the cases are going up again, but we are dealing with things in a different way. They're kind of
Mhm.
putting people in quarantine in certain areas. It's not like the whole country
Okay.
goes to quarantine again.
Yeah.
It can happen. I'm no one to tell you that this is not going to happen, but right now they're working like in areas, and and
Yeah.
adjusting the schedule, the like of the bars and the clubs are not opening anymore, or if you're open, you're open until 12 only. But
Yeah.
I am seeing that in Ghana the situation is way better for you,
Yeah.
and the
At
coronavirus,
least where
it's
I
so
am, I
difficult right
know.
now.
I know in the capital, in Accra, some people suffered because there was like a real lockdown. But where I am, it's kind of okay. Yeah.
Right. And are you taking, like, when you're teaching, are you doing something different because of the coronavirus, or do you work like, since you are a bubble and there are so like little people, how are you how are you working with
So
the?
I we will only open the school next week.
Okay,
So,
okay,
but I think we will have some measurements to make sure that we are safe. I think the
yeah,
students will use nose masks and we will have hand washing stations and yeah,
yeah,
we will make sure that it's okay.
yeah, because right now here the security is crazy.
I can imagine.
I'm not even gonna start talking about it because I'm so exhausted from work today. I don't want to start talking about it again. But we're taking a lot of measures, and it looks like so far so good, which pays off all the efforts.
I feel like
And
I was kind of like lucky to being here during this coronavirus
mhm,
era because I all my friends from Europe. I think you guys suffered much more, like
we
being locked
did.
down in a room. Yeah,
Yeah, we did. And I am lucky that I'm here in Tenerife and not in mainland Spain,
yeah,
because like things started
yeah.
opening up way sooner, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And there are not a lot of
Yeah,
cases in here. So I feel very, very lucky. Like seriously, feel very, very grateful
yeah.
for being here, because in mainland Spain it's a total different situation. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. It's impossible not to talk about the coronavirus nowadays, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I just want to take
but
the
it's important.
it is
Yeah,
important. It is part of life. It is what's happening in the world. Like we cannot pretend that nothing is happening. And I recorded a podcast a few weeks ago, I think maybe a month, I
mhm.
don't remember, talking about the coronavirus. Like we are living this time of that is bringing anxiety to people, right? And like we should talk about it. We should just say, you know what, I feel anxious today. I feel, because it exists. Like we cannot pretend that everything is okay, just like
Yeah,
we have coronavirus the entire week, and then during the weekend there is no coronavirus. Like coronavirus still exists, and
yeah,
so talking about it, it's just normal. I just wanted to tell our listeners that just take into consideration that you may be listening to this conversation like 1 2 weeks after we record it. So if we say something that it's not true right now, regarding the coronavirus, maybe Spain goes to total lockdown. I really hope not.
yeah.
But just take into consideration that we pre-recorded, obviously, this conversation. Yay! Okay, there are a few things I want to ask you about
Yeah,
Ghana.
please.
I'm fascinated. So, um, tell me about the people in Ghana.
The first thing that comes to my mind is the smiles. Everyone is always smiling. Everyone is so like friendly, you know?
Hmm.
How can I say? You know how I'm lately used to London when people like don't really look at you, they don't really talk, they pass by you. Here everyone is like you cannot pass in the market without someone telling you something, you know, and
Hmm.
giving a comment about you. You know what's funny? What people love to say when they see you and they are like, "Oh, you look fat." it's kind of like a compliment here, you know.
Oh, thank you. Are you serious?
And for us, it's like, and I'm like, when they told me first, I just looked at my friends like, what's happening? I thought I lost weight. And they're like, no, no, no. They're saying it like it's a good thing. And I was like, oh my God, it's not good. So everyone is like very open to tell you anything they think, I would say, you
Cool.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
And
Here in the village, like I go there often to spend some
mhm,
time there. Uh, People are, it's a village. So there is not that many opportunities. So I feel like a lot of people, in a way, they're not that occupied, you know, sometimes. I don't know. I think it's not only in Africa in a village, but I haven't spent much time in any village in my life. So I can only talk about this village.
yes.
So I feel like in small communities, like people love to talk, gossip a bit, you know, like this type of
Hmm.
things.
Yeah.
But in the same time, like everyone will, if you go there, everyone will know that you went there. So these things are very, but I think, I'm not sure it's
Oh,
typically
yes.
Ghana, you know. I think it's like because of being in such a small place.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they love gossip. It's just like small place
Absolutely.
and everybody knows about everything.
Everybody knows everything. Yes. It's
That's
very
actually
like that.
scary. I'm not sure if I like that
I
part.
know. I know. I know. I think uh, I realize many beliefs I have are very different from the people from here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And some things they believe I can identify with, some I really cannot. You know, like it's a very Christian country,
Yeah.
so majority of the people are quite religious. So
Mm-hmm.
I am not, so I cannot really identify with that part. And I feel like it's a very major part of the belief of the people, you know.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that will
So
just,
I'm
it
more
will
like
shape the way they
spiritual.
are,
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I feel like sometimes like how I see how women are treated is something I cannot really identify with. They're not treated badly. Like I feel like it's a very family oriented country, you know. So I
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of families together. They really care about their children. The couple is together. It's nice. But
Yeah.
in the same time, um, many times I feel like there's still like the man and the woman is like
Mm-hmm.
not equal.
They
So
still
I
follow
know
the,
it's true everywhere.
traditional model.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
it's very traditional. That's the good. That was the word I was looking for. It's very traditional. You know, like they love their culture. They love their traditional dresses, their food. They only eat Ghanaian food. You don't find any food here. So it's been like a year and now that I didn't eat anything else than Ghanaian food. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
it's different in Accra, but I can talk. I talk about the region I am now.
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
maybe there are some Indian restaurants. That's all. But other than that, so everything is like Ghanaian and local, and they love it. And I think it's great. But I feel like because of this, maybe they are not that open sometimes to like different cultures. I would say in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's good
I'm
that
not
you
saying it
touch.
as a negative thing, but
Yeah,
this is what I experienced. Yeah,
yeah, and it's a fact. If you are
yeah,
Christian, then you probably have Christian values. If you have Christian values, then you're gonna act and do things a
yeah,
certain way, I guess. And yeah, that's totally fine.
yeah,
I was about to ask you because you said that everybody was really nice and smiley and stuff,
yeah,
but do they really let you in? You know, because here in the Canary Islands, I do feel that everybody is actually nice. You know, if you need, you ask for help, they will help you.
yeah,
But they are like, it's not like they let you in. They already have their, they are already settled. You know what I mean? They do have their
yeah,
families, their cousins, their everything. And since this is a small island, it's almost like a village because everybody knows everybody, and you know, you always get noticed. Well, the same, more or less the same as you were talking, but like in a bigger scale. But I feel
yeah,
that Canarian people are very nice to us, you know, foreigners, but then it's not like they let you in. If you're not a part of the group. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I don't know if you feel,
yeah, 100%.
in some countries, for example, I'm from Angola, and you know Angolan people. Well, of course, you know Angolan
Yeah,
people. I met you like 2 months,
Yes.
and I was like, okay, okay, you can live here with my family.
Yeah.
That's how
Yes.
people, that's how we are. We
Yes.
let people in, actually. But some cultures are very nice, but they don't let you in to their house. And I was
Yeah.
wondering if Ghana is the same, because all African countries are different. I know that us Angolan people, we bring you in and you are family, and but you are family.
Yeah.
I was
I
wondering if,
experienced it in Portugal. Yes.
yeah, you were just another member of our family over there. Like,
Yeah. It's true. I feel like in Portugal, I don't think they let me in completely, but I never felt fully let in any country I lived at. You know, in
mhm,
Portugal, all my friends were mainly like foreigners, like kind of like you, who grew up there, but they are
yeah,
maybe from another country. I had a few Portuguese friends, but majority of Portuguese people, I didn't feel like they let me in. In
yeah,
London, I also had some English friends, but majority were kind of foreigners. So even here, I feel like it's a different question. 'Cause, for example, here in the culture, when you eat food, you ask anyone, you tell everyone you're invited. So
mhm,
like maybe they share their food, but culturally they eat. Sometimes four people they eat from the same plate with their hands. You know, so it's a cultural
yeah,
thing. So if
mhm,
any random people I just know by their name, they will tell me you're invited. You know.
yes,
So I'm saying, so my students they let me in to their houses and they introduce me to their families. They invite me for food. They're so happy if I go. But like random people, not really. So I don't know. It's 50-50. I think maybe they let me in more than Portuguese people,
yeah,
but still, I don't feel like fully. I don't feel like I'm part of the community. It's weird because here the fact of being white is kind of like they like me more because I'm white. So I don't think it's a good thing either. You know. For example, the other day, I had to go to the hospital, and I went. Actually, I wasn't alone, and we managed to skip the queue and go in first just because I was white, you know? So I think probably because of the colonial times, you know, I think it's in a bit in people's head that because I'm white it's better. So I don't think it's good. Many times my students or the girls come and touch my hair and be like, oh, I want one like this. So I don't think it's good. But I experienced it. So I don't think they would ever look at me like one of them, you know?
mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that I was curious about, like to know, since you are in a country where the majority of people are black, obviously,
Yeah.
I was curious about the treatment, but I wasn't expecting what you just said. It's interesting because in my head, I wouldn't imagine like going to an African country with a majority of black people and have, different better treatment because you are white. And I think that's so good for you that you're saying it, and that you are, putting the the finger and pointing the
Yeah.
finger on what's happening. It's actually, for me, it's quite shocking and sad at the same time. um
You know, yes, yes.
yeah, yeah,
Because
it's sad.
even just about the hair, you know, like I was just telling you before we started this recording that I never see any girl here using their hair like you do. It's very very rare.
Wow,
Maybe in
so
Accra, but it's like more modern, you know. But like
oh,
everyone or they like cut their hair short or use wigs or like um
mm-hmm.
or do
Braids.
some like hairstyle, yeah, or
Mm-hmm.
braids as well, or some hairstyle to like I don't know, but no one ever really use it as an afro. And I
Yeah.
can really everyone wants long hair, you know. And how can I say? I think it's awesome that people can have the option and use a wig when they want to,
Of
but
course, you should do whatever you want.
only if it comes from like self love and not because you think your own is not good. So anytime like I'm talking to my students, I'm telling them, no, I think your hair is amazing and whatever. But I feel like it's such something that comes from so deep that I'm not sure how. Like probably it would be a hard work to change this person.
Yeah, it's gonna take some hard work. It's like it took me years to realize
Yeah,
that my hair is
I
fine.
remember.
Like, my hair is totally fine. Like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah,
now that I think about it,
yeah,
I'm like, what the hell? My hair is totally fine. Everyone hair is totally fine, but for me, this was like a discovery, you know? And now it's
Yeah,
like this is the thing that I love the like I love this hair. This is like
I love
now
your
it's
hair.
like part of my identity is my hair.
Yeah,
And every time I think that I was like doing all the crazy stuff in my hair, I'm like, I mean, if you want to do it from a place of love, and if you want to do it because you love it, because you feel good, not because you're trying to hide who your
yeah,
natural
exactly.
features and that you feel that you have to hide that this is not good enough. Like this is
So
uh
yeah, every time there
yeah.
is like a celebration or like some kind of like event, they have to dress up. They put a wig on because that's the nice hair. So I think yeah, it's something would be what would be good to change.
Yeah. But what do you say to those girls? Like do you try to change it? Do you
I'm just talking to them about like why and like it's hard because they come here and they touch my hair and I'm telling them, oh, I love your hair, it's very nice, and they're like, no, madam, I want hair like you, So it's a bit it's sad,
Mhm.
I
It's
think.
sad because you try to tell them and it's like
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
yeah, it's not being received. Oh boy.
It's interesting,
I wish
you
I was
know.
there with you. It's so sad that
Yeah,
my life changed in a way that I wasn't able to go visit you because I would love to visit you. I don't know, maybe in the future. But
yeah. Hopefully,
this is something that is so close to my heart and just like one of my biggest joys is walking down the street and see a small black girl smiling back at me and I know what she's thinking. I know she's looking at my hair and saying, oh, that's cool, you know, and I know that she's
yeah,
gonna and it's so cool that I do receive compliments from my kids and they're like, oh, your hair is so cool and I know that a lot of another black kids are listening and you know what I mean and
yeah,
it's so cool and it's just one of the simplest things in life and it's so sad that we don't and that we can't just accept what you know what God gave us since they are so Christian. I mean, God gave you this
yeah,
hair. Like
yeah.
your
I
hair is
know, and
fine.
I think black girls normally have thank God now it's changing, but they
Yeah.
have this issue with their hair. But what I realized here, in general, people love to be black. I love it. My students sometimes they come to me and they're like, "Madam, I love my skin," and it's so amazing to see. So I
That's
feel like
beautiful.
here because everyone is black and we are in Africa, they love it and they embrace it, and it's
And it's
amazing to see
normal.
this.
And it's
Yes,
normal. I
yeah, but I can
remember.
imagine, I remember when we were in Portugal and sometimes you told me that people are looking at you and whatever. And like I can feel it now. How is it? Because I'm the only white person and wherever I go everyone's like looking at me. And people are very nice, but sometimes I also do feel some not friendly looks as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
Because there's the look and
not
there's
a
the
nice feeling.
stare.
Yeah.
It's different.
There is the curiosity
Yeah,
and I think curiosity is fine.
it's
And there's
fine.
like, why are you here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then there's the stare like,
yeah.
what's happening? Wow, this is so interesting. I love it.
Mhm.
And how cool is it that you are actually living in a country in Africa experiencing stuff that I have lived in Hungary where you were born. It's just like this
Yeah.
conversation is totally ironic for us. I just hope that the audience can because our relationship goes so deep that it's kind of weird even you know because I'm afraid people won't get everything you know
Yeah. So
because there are
basically, eight
a
years
lot of
ago,
layers. Yeah.
I was living with your family is your white adopted sister, basically, for like almost 2 years, just for everyone to understand. You know,
Yeah,
I went
people.
to Portugal and you said stay with us, so it's going back to there.
It's going back on time. Like, so
Yeah,
you guys, if you want to ask questions, if there is something that you want us like to just elaborate on, because we can be here talking nonstop and just change topics as you saw. You know, it's gonna be very hard for me to write down a description for this video. So just ask. Okay, we're fine. Just ask. We're gonna answer. Um,
yeah.
I think we've been talking for I don't know how long, but I can't
Quite a long
actually
time.
long time, I think. Would
Mhm.
you tell me like the pros and cons of living in Ghana? Come on,
Pros.
pros and cons.
I will start with the pros. I think uh, like living in Ghana as a foreigner or just in general.
I mean, you are a foreigner, so I want your
Yeah.
opinion. I want your opinion.
Okay.
Hmm.
So why would I move here if I would want to move here?
Yeah, I
I think
mean, yeah.
yeah. I think the country like nature is beautiful. It's a lot of green things. Um, the music is amazing. People are always listening to music. They're always dancing. It's great. I love this. I love this vibe. Uh, the people, the smiles. I know I'm gonna miss the smiles most when I leave. Everyone is
Yeah.
being so friendly, and the food is great. It's just an amazing country. I haven't been to other African countries yet. I will, but I'm very happy that I came here, and I think West Africa has like this vibe. I met some other West African people here, so this liveliness, this energy, what is like very special to hear. People are
Okay.
very lively. It's great. The colors, everything,
Uh-huh.
and maybe cons. As a European, like cons, what I miss is maybe those. That's just my own personal. What I miss is my hairdresser. As a white person, I don't really find anyone here, or some those like a dentist,
I'm
you know.
sorry. I have to say, welcome to my life.
Yes,
I have
yeah,
to say
okay.
this. I'm sorry.
It's so bad. I'm very
Welcome to
sorry.
my life. How do you feel?
I haven't cut my hair since I'm here. It's like so long, you
I'm
know?
like, I don't even care anymore. Just don't touch my hair. I'll take care of it.
Yeah. That's a very true sentence. Yeah. Like like a dentist or sometimes like how can I say? I think healthcare is okay here. But still,
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain, but you always trust the healthcare more in the countries you were born at or you live, you know?
Yeah.
So for me, like I'm okay now, but going to like if it's everything is fine, it's fine. But when I'm like sick or something, sometimes I wish I would be in my country because it's a different
Hmm.
like familiarity, you
Yeah.
know. So that, but it's just my own personal thing, and some like small things I miss. Maybe like having not like those coffee shops where you can sit with your friends and like chill out.
Yeah. I know them. Yeah.
I really miss them. I really miss them. That's not really present here. I don't think people more go to like bars or maybe some like shop bars where you can eat, but not really like those that type of. That's I think it's a very European vibe that like you sit in those Costa Coffee and those type
Yeah.
of things. I miss that. Yeah,
Okay. Those are the cons?
yeah. I
Okay.
I love it here.
I'm
I think
in. I'm
I
in. I'm going now. I'm
Mhm.
booking my flights.
Probably after a while, people's mentality can be a bit hard because how can I say there are some things people believe in that I just sit and I'm like, okay, I don't know, like like juju and witches and all these type of beliefs are very present, especially where I am here now.
Hmm.
So this type of things for me is like I'm not saying that it's not true because I'm sure it's true for them, but for me it's like it's not part of my life. So it's a bit how can I say? I don't know really what to say when someone tells me that their hand is like something happened to their hand because they were like jujued by someone else.
Yeah.
So this type of like
And you're
things
like,
like
ah, really? Okay.
so this type of things are not very in the long term it must be hard
Okay.
to like
Okay.
try to fit into a place where everyone believes in this type
I
of
got
thing.
what you're saying because when you know you're leaving, you deal with things in a different way.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Yeah. I was just faced with a situation like, how can I explain this? I was just faced with a situation like I've heard some stories about how is it to build a house in Tenerife and to buy a house and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And I was, lately I have been thinking like I'm not gonna leave this island. Like I love this, and maybe I should buy a house. Like why not? But then I heard those stories, and it's like, hmm, okay, so maybe I will not buy a house. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if I was
yeah,
going to stay here and leave in 2 years, it's one thing. But I know that I'm going to
yeah,
stay here forever. So now I have to deal with the fact that I will maybe will not buy a house because like I can't be bothered. It's just too much.
yeah,
And yeah, and I understand what you're saying. Like sometimes it's like since you're leaving, it's easier to cope with things.
yeah.
It's like when you're leaving a
But yeah,
job, right?
yeah, it's like whatever.
You're
Yeah,
more tolerant with people. You're like, oh, Nancy.
yeah, yeah. During coronavirus, I really felt it that sometimes, and I know that I adapt very well to different cultures. I like to say that I'm multicultural. I'm a person of the world, and I can fit in anywhere. You know, I like to
Hmm.
say that. But when the lockdown was on, full on, and I didn't know when can I leave,
Hmm.
things like I don't understand the language, and everyone is talking on Cili or Fanti, and I'm like
Hmm.
sitting there, and you know, they
Yeah.
started to bother me. Before, when I knew I would leave in a few months, I didn't care. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like I was just really missing someone with my mentality, like a girl I can chat to, because it's kind of not that easy to make friendship with girls here, you know.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, these things like in a long term that must be a bit like hard, like friends. If you don't have foreigner friends, like the how can I say the mentality of the local girls is quite different from mine, you know. So like
Oh,
to have
yeah. Of course. Of
deep
course.
deep conversations like this, what I need, like soul sister conversations, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that would be hard. Like you know, these type of things.
Yeah. I know. I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just have a couple of questions that I forgot to ask you. Like, regarding like lifestyle, you are a volunteer. Like, do you consider
yeah.
it cheap to live in Ghana?
So where I'm now, I get accommodation and food. So
Hmm.
that's great. So during the week, I don't really spend on anything unless I want some internet credit or to buy some extra.
Yeah.
And when I go to the city, then I spend some money. I think it's considerably cheap here. Yes, Accra not really.
Mm-hmm.
Accra is more expensive, but here in this region, I think it's
Okay.
okay.
For an
But like knowing the local people's salary, it's expensive.
yes.
It's not, you know?
Okay.
For
Okay.
us
That's where I wanted. Okay.
now, I think in Ghanaian cities, yeah, because I know how much cities I have. So for me, like if I have to buy like a dinner for 40 cities, I'm like, oh, that's expensive. I'm not gonna get that. But if I count,
Yeah.
it's around like I don't know, less than £5. So I'm like,
Okay.
okay, then it's okay. But if I think in local money, that's a lot. And everyone around me is local, so I know how they see the things. So having the salary they get is not it's not cheap.
Okay. All right. Oh, thank you for saying that. It's very, I think it's very useful information and just for us to know also. Because sometimes it's
Yeah,
really like, oh, it's so cheap. Yeah, like it's cheap for us. And for the
yeah,
locals
not for here,
is a
but
total different
I
story.
feel like if someone comes here for holidays and have some savings, they are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Oh,
if I imagine that I would live here and work here, I'm not sure. You know?
that would be a different
Yeah,
story. Yeah.
yeah, very.
Okay. Are you actually living? Are you really considering living? You have like a, or would you like to stay longer? What's in your heart?
I have to leave because I need to meet my family and I need to do my things. You know, but
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think this is the last time I've been here. Let's put it like this.
Okay. Oh, I love it so
Yeah. But
much.
but lately, I really like to surrender to whatever comes. You know?
Yeah. I mean, coronavirus is teaching us, like all of us, if we're
Yes.
living day by day. Seriously,
Yeah.
I go to work and tomorrow they're gonna tell me something different, and it is what it
Yeah.
is. That's what we're doing, living day by day. And
But one thing for sure, when I leave this country, I'm not gonna be the same girl who arrives to this country. You know?
I know.
It's a completely different person leaving this place. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. What was your biggest lesson from this experience? so far because you still have
Yes,
a few
everyone.
months to go.
I had so many lessons. You know, since I've been here lately, especially since the coronavirus and since we don't have school, I meditated a lot and I read so many self-development books. I read not just I read so many books. You know, because I have so much time. Not
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
What do? You read. Okay.
Yes. I read many books,
Yeah.
and I feel like we really have to learn how to be with ourselves. Because sometimes I
Hmm.
experience that when it's nothing happening, no one is around me, I start to get anxious and I start to get like, my God, I have to do something, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a hard feeling because we don't learn that ever. Like anytime before in London, if I felt that I could just go, even if I was alone, I could go to a museum, you know?
Hmm.
I could do something.
Just do
But sometimes
something.
you just, like here, I can maximum go for a run on the beach. That is amazing and I do it. But, you know? So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's a very big takeaway to learn. I have to learn even more how to be with myself.
Okay. Do you think you're better at it right now?
I'm better, but there is still a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know the other thing I realized that when I was in London, my meditation and my self care practices were much better because
Hmm.
I felt like I was busy. So for me to like do 10 minutes meditation, it was okay. But here, nothing. So my thoughts are even more. You know.
Yeah.
So sometimes, especially in the beginning, when I had to sit down to meditate, I just felt too much. You know.
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool. I think
Yeah.
that's a wrap. I think that's a wrap, everybody. Celia, thank you so much for accepting the
Thank you.
invitation to be
Thank
part
you.
of the Soul Sisters talking and
Mm,
community. I'm so happy we're doing this. I'm so happy
thank you.
we're bringing different women, people to talk about different subjects and just have real conversations and hopefully help people with our information and opinion and practices. So, really, thank you very much for doing what you did and for sharing it with people because
Thank
you were
you.
inspired by other people and now you may inspire others.
Yeah,
And
actually,
so,
I'm
yeah.
planning to do a channel about my experience and maybe some advice I was
Yeah.
missing before I came. So when I get back to Europe, probably I will work on that just for the
Cool.
future.
And where can people find you on Instagram?
My name is Cecilia.Mali
My name is
and
Cecilia.Mali. Is that it? Or just Cecilia.Mali?
Cecilia.Mali, yes.
Ah, okay.
My
So,
username is
yeah, I was just like, I don't know. Like, some people are like, I am the real whatever. Like,
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
maybe
It's
people
just
have to find.
Cecilia.Mali.
Okay, just to be clear, I'm gonna put it at the beginning so people can read it. But just to be clear,
Thank you.
you can look at Cecilia.Mali, Mally, and okay, I'm the personal developer. You know where to find me. It's the personal developer everywhere. So yay!
Thank,
I loved recording
thank
this.
you.
I
Me too.
hope you audience also loved it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We did it. Okay.
Hi personal developer, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe to my channel and share it with someone you love. And also don't forget to activate the notifications so you don't miss a thing. There's a new video coming every Wednesday and Friday. There's another thing I don't want you to forget. You can be the boss of your brain. Yes, you can. See you next time.